All right, so we'll go first with Mr. Trey Day. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I've been in music for about 7 years. I started as a producer. I got signed to Atlantic Records. I did a publishing deal with them for 3 years. From there, I went to running Moray's label, EBF, Everybody's Family Music Group, and we're here now.
All
Now,
right. Thank you, thank you. And Mr. Tevin, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're from?
Sure thing. I'm from Buellville, North Carolina. That's a town in between Wilmington and Jacksonville, North Carolina. I started hiphopvibe.com in 2009, and we've just been continuing to grow year after year. And here we are.
All right, thank you for being here, both of you guys. I appreciate you. And then we have DJ Nothing Nice, who will be on shortly. He's always moving, as y'all know. And so DJ Nothing Nice is currently in Orlando, Florida. That's where Nothing Nice Radio is based out of. I'm going to let him tell a little bit more about himself once he gets on, so stay tuned for that. As for me, I'm Elizabeth, L3 Brand CEO once again, publicist, brand development, marketing manager. I work with some of everybody. And so that's something that I pride myself in, is digging deep into the community and connecting with all the moving parts that make us successful in what we do. All right, so one of the things that I wanted to talk to you guys about is why we're doing this show. There's been a lot of people that have been reaching out for help, not just to myself, but to each of the individuals that are on this show, that are hosting, that have been asking for help, asking for guidance. And a lot of times people will try to tax artists. They'll try to tax those that are trying to be successful in branding themselves, not just artists, but those that want to make a brand, build a brand. And I don't feel that's right. I think basic knowledge should be afforded to all of us, and what we do with that and what we build on it with our work ethic is going to show where we're going to be at. It's going to show our success. And so I've noticed that since I was first starting out, maybe at the age of 14, there's not a lot of opportunities to really teach and develop, especially for the music scene. And so that's what we're missing, not just in Fayetteville, not just in Spring Lake, not just within North Carolina, but in the industry as a whole. There's not a lot of developmental tools and people that are going to pass that knowledge down. So that's what we're here for. We definitely have some jewels to give you guys today. And for the long haul, we're going to have special guests coming on every single week so that you guys can get a chance to meet, connect, network, build, and most importantly, learn. So what I wanted to start things off with is letting us know what one jewel of the game is that you may have learned, whether over time, something that just stood out in your mind, but something that you feel was essential in making you who you are today. So either one, you guys can go first.
I can. Ownership. Ownership. That's one of the major ones for me, is owning your work. Whatever, if you're a producer, if you're an artist, you're a CEO, you want to own whatever you're working on. It's ownership. That's like one of the major ones. And a lot of people, they're quick to run to something they don't really know about, but instead of trying to learn and figure it out on their own and own it.
Okay. I love it. Thank you for sharing that. And Tevin, do you have a jewel to share? Something that you've learned over time?
Well, piggybacking off of what Trey said, I do agree that ownership has also taught me a lot. I've tried to, with whatever I do, maintain 100% ownership in, but also the value of your circle. That is everything, making sure you have the right people involved, because, I mean, you could be the greatest in the world, but if the people around you aren't, you'll get to a certain level and you will fall. And that's a lesson that has carried me thus far.
Perfect. I mean, both of those points speak volumes. And I hope you guys are taking notes, because, it seems like it's simple, but some things you really need to put into your mind, into your heart, and put it to action so that you can start to see a difference. One thing that I will share is a personal jewel to me. I definitely learned that it takes more than just talking. It takes action, it takes doing. And that's, you think that's a really simple thing for people to grasp. Unfortunately, a lot of times people get caught up in the hype of, okay, what are we talking about we're going to do? What are we planning on? But after you get done with all the planning and all the talking, what work are you actually putting in? So that's a simple jewel, but like I said, it's so key. To elaborate a little bit more about that, I think that there's certain expectations. Actually, this is another jewel, so I won't get too far into that. But I do think there's certain expectations that entertainers and artists put in place where they're like, okay, they come to someone like myself or like Trey, or they might come to DJ Nothing Nice even, and they'll say, I want to be a millionaire. I want to do this. I want to get booked for paid shows. And it's like, but what work are you doing? Okay, so you want to get booked, you want to get paid to be booked, but what work are you putting in to show that you're worth getting paid? Not to say that your quality of music, not to say that your catalog isn't there, but are you putting yourself in position? Is your marketing on point? Do you have a publicist? Do you even need a manager at this point? Because a manager has to have what? Something to manage. So, the simple saying a lot of people have always said, and it still rings true, is 0% of zero is still zero. So before you bring people onto the table and be a part of your team, you have to make sure that you have the basics, everything that you can do on your own, out of the way first. So I wanted to dive a little bit into the beginnings of building a brand. First of all, I'd like to break down what everybody's role is and why it's significant on this show. And like I said, we're going to have other people that are come on and speak over time. I'll start with Trey. So Trey is not only a manager, but he is a consultant. He sees talent, he plays a lot of different roles, and he sees the talent and figures out what's necessary to take it to the next level and begins to pull those key players in place to get them there. That's essential to have. You have to have somebody that's going to be able to take control and organize your situation, to manage your brand. But first and foremost, he also knows the importance of development. You have to be developed first, and you have to be ready. You have to look like money. You have to walk like money. You have to be thinking like money. And so if you're out there and you're presenting yourself as an entertainer, presenting yourself as a brand, you can't go out dressed, like you just woke up in the morning and got out the bed. If you're wanting to make money, you definitely have to look like it. Furthermore, your cover art for your singles, your website, your EPK, all of those things have to be in place. Your business has to be handled. So there's a whole lot that goes into it. And so those are some of the things that he oversees and makes sure of before he even takes on an artist, and begins to kind of vet the situation. So Trey, tell us a little bit about what all it takes to get started from ground level. If you see talent somewhere, hear somebody on the internet, or somebody approaches you, emails, etc., what's the first thing that you look for in getting in pointing them in the right direction?
The first thing I ask them about is, do they have their music registered? Like, do they have a BMI? Do they have an ASCAP? Like, do they have, if they're trying to get radio play, do you have a song trust? Do you have a sound scan? Like, all of these things play in just off the basis, because if you're gonna play, even if you're gonna be like a SoundCloud rapper, you'll still be able to get paid for your music. So you want to have a register. So that's like the first thing that I actually look for. Then the second is the work. Like, is your work ethic up to par? Like, are you going this hard? If we both going hard, as me being your manager and you being a rapper, we should both, it'll be a great experience. But if one person's doing more than the other person is, it's going to be a little bit harder. But I mean, those are like my main two things: is the work ethic and do they have their music registered? Because those are like I said, if you don't have that stuff done, it's kind of like you're kind of like doing it for local fame.
Mm, that's a point. That's definitely a point. Um, Point and tip to the artist or aspiring artists: don't aspire to stay local. Don't be so caught up in who's supporting you in your city necessarily, even, because at the end of the day, who are the people that usually get on? Well, first of all, who are usually your biggest supporters? They're usually people that you don't know. They're people that are outside of your local area. And that's when people tend to blow up, is when they leave home, when they leave their comfort area.
Yeah,
So thank you, Trey, for, go
that's
ahead.
another. That's another one too. Get like wherever you live. It doesn't even have to be North Carolina. Like if you live anywhere, get out of the town you live in and go perform your music. Do your music out of town. Like never do it where you're at, because like you just said, it's gonna be a lot less love in town because people know who you were before you started doing music. So they're gonna still want to
Absolutely.
look at you. They're gonna want to look at you in that light. So
Hmm. So let's jump into what Tevin does. So Tevin, you run a major blog that doesn't just focus on artists, but it focuses on entertainment, news, um, information, resources, community, so much. And that's something that extends worldwide. Um, I know a lot of people come to you and they're looking for exposure. They're looking for opportunities and how your platform can help take them to the next level. So when you're looking for content, when you're looking for a story to break or something that you want to cover, what's something that you first look for that makes it stand out to you?
First thing I look for is, and it varies, obviously, if it's a breaking news story, we have journalistic responsibilities first and foremost to make sure that we're putting something out that, at the very least, is looking for the right word here. That's at least, close to factual if it's like a developing story. So we don't get out here and misinform people, because we've had stories that hit, 300 plus thousand people in a matter of hours. And you just got to be careful with that. But as far as like content where a person will make a submission as far as features and stuff, what we look for is someone who has a team, and or looks like they have a team. So if they send a submission over and it's like they email, "Hey bro, check out my single," and it's just a link, there's like a 90% chance that we're not going to look at that. But if it's something where it says, for an example, artist accomplishes whatever, and it's like a catchy email title, we look at it, you have your artwork there, you have like a little bio information about your material and who you are, that gives us more to work with as well without having to dig for it, as opposed to, "Hey bro, like, who are you?" Like, really, but whenever you state who you are and what your intentions are, that goes a long way towards getting a feature and being out there alongside the biggest people in the industry that we often cover. Hopefully I answered that correctly.
Definitely. That was good information. So if I can gather that, if I can kind of bring that full circle, what you're saying is find a way to stand out. And one thing I think that you said that also kind of segues into something else is you said, okay, if you just send, "Hey bro, just check out my link," that's not gonna necessarily get attention. That goes hand in hand with building relationships, another jewel of the game. Build relationships. Don't just go reach out to somebody to get their information so you can send them a link. Say hi, ask them how they're doing. Sit down, invite them for coffee, drinks, whatever it may be. Send them some of your content, or some of your merch, promote items, things like that, and begin to build that relationship. If they don't know you, why would they support you? If you don't support
Right.
them, why would they support you? So it's about doing your due diligence, finding out who somebody is, and build. Let them know that you actually give a care about them. Honestly, it is a dog eat dog type industry. However, people have relationships that become alliances, that become opportunities that are given to those people that build with each other. And that's the real of it. Um, so yes, definitely answer the question. And like I said, making things more personable, building with those outlets, those managers, those A&Rs, those DJs, those radio stations, name it, even your especially the media outlets and the independent media, the bloggers, as well as the videographers and photographers. You want to have relationships with all those people so that when it comes down to it, you don't just have to make a phone call when it's time for your album to drop. They'll be looking out for your album to drop. So yeah, it's a lot that goes into it. But guys, I know that DJ Nothing Nice should be on in just a minute, so I definitely want to give him a chance to talk a little bit about his jewels. Before he comes on, some of the things that I was learning as I was getting started was the importance of professionalism. A lot of times people are just so worried about, let's get as much done as quick as possible. Let's just get it out there. And when you're presenting yourself as a brand, you cannot go half-handed. You can't just put anything out. Before you put just anything out, wait, get it done right. If you can't afford to get your album cover done, wait, put the money to the side, do what you have to do. Yes, people are trying to build on their own independently, and no, they don't always have the sufficient budget to take care of it. But until you get there, you still have to put out quality content. Otherwise, you're wasting your time. You're also therefore wasting your content. So if you pay for quality studio time, you pay for leasing the beat or purchasing the beat, and you put your hard work and your talent into it just to go release it with the cover that looks like you made it in Microsoft PowerPoint, you wasted your time. And furthermore, nobody's going to pay attention to it. It's going to be a joke. It's going to reflect on your brand. So you might have a Diddy, you might have a Jay-Z, you might have one of us, anybody that's taking a look at your work. And we go to your page to check out, okay, let me see, it's an independent artist, somebody that's coming up, somebody maybe we can show support to or bring on to an opportunity. We go to your page and the first thing we see is this PowerPoint artwork right there. And it's like, yeah, never mind, next. Automatically. You might have the best music in the world. Never mind, next, because it doesn't look like you really care about what you're doing. You have to believe in yourself enough to invest in yourself. So yeah, guys, please understand it's not about quantity and it's not about how quick you can do it. It's about doing it right. Anybody else want to chime in on that? I know you guys have experienced some things with getting sent content that's just not right, especially in managing artists, especially in people that are like, hey, put me on the blog. And I know DJ Nothing Nice gets it all the time when people submitting music, and he might really want to support because he has a love for music, just like all of us, I know, love music, we love entertainment. So what experiences have you guys had?
I've had experiences where people just get a little overzealous with the situation. And like you were speaking about earlier, they kind of put the cart way ahead of the horse.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're talking about things, that are really years down the road that they've done no preparation for. And so they come in here with these grand plans, which is great, but they don't have a way to get there. And it's kind of unclear what we're supporting, And this is where we kind of really just want the link at this point, as opposed to all these things, and they have no plan for it. And then, you face artists coming into like, a publishing company like what I have and saying, well, all I need is an investor. And it's like, well, that's great. I think you should go find one, but they're looking at people like me to do that. And that's not what I do. There's a lot of that. As soon as you find someone that is supportive, a lot of these people burn that bridge as soon as they get in the door because they lose their mind once they finally get a supporter, which shows that they weren't ready to begin with. So they should have taken that extra, however long it's going to take to put together a game plan to come in. Because it's gotten to the point where there's some artists who make great music, but like I know them and the sound of their voice just makes me, not even really want to listen to their song, let alone post it.
I got you. All right. So before we dive deeper into this subject and to everything else that we want to talk about today, let's see what time we got. It's like 12:32. Okay, we got some time. So first of all, welcome DJ Nothing Nice.
How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing?
Hey, so glad that So glad that you could be a part of this.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
So everybody's already given their introductions, and they've also given one jewel of the game that they've learned over time that they can pass on to somebody else, something that was important to where they are today. So if you wouldn't mind, DJ Nathan Nice, tell us about who you are, what you do, where you're from.
Okay. How you doing? First of all, thank you once again, Miss Liz, for having me up here. You know what I'm saying? And thank you for everybody that's up here and for having this opportunity to be able to speak. Anytime it's a pleasure to be able to, give advice and answer questions. But DJ Nothing Nice, been in the game for a minute. DJ, engineer, producer, beat maker, learner. I want to say a learner because I like to learn. Been in the industry for like going on like almost 10 years, maybe 10 years, 11 years, something like that. Somewhere in there. Maybe longer. You gotta
I think it's longer.
Yeah, it's probably longer. But I like to put the years back to make it seem, But like I said, DJ, drummer, musician, just lover of music, owner of a top 40 radio station, background, ex-military, 7.5 years, 8 years in the military. So just here to make an impact, man, overall with everything in this business. And one of the jewels that I live by, patience and timing are my best friends. And I say that because in this industry and in life period, you have to have patience, and you have to believe in timing, because if it's not your time, it's not your time. You know what I mean? You could have all the money in the world, you have all the connections in the world, but it's all about timing. And it's not even about people over you or telling you when your project got to drop. It's the fact of when it's your time, it's your time. You know what I mean? Nobody can stop that. So that's my main jewel that I really truly live by, is having my best friends being patience and timing. So, and that's what I believe in. That's what I live by daily with everything. So, if I could sum it up in a whole, so that's where I'm at.
Okay. So one of the jewels that we did talk about was, more or less the topic we were talking about is figuring out what the first thing is that you look for when somebody sends in content, or if you're looking for new music to put out, somebody to work with, or what have you, if you have an opportunity that comes your way. What are the first things that you look for to take somebody serious?
First of all, because it like you can find diamonds in the rough. So what I look for is how, whatever genre of music it is, because I'm a top 40 radio station and I deal with top 40 stuff and I deal with all music. So what I look for is where can I fit that artist music at? You know what I mean? If it's video games, if it's a movie, if it's a score, if it's just a jingle, because believe it or not, I know some people be like, oh, that music is trash, but if you think outside the box, as long as you think outside the box, there's music can go anywhere. And the music that a person puts out, it might not be what you like, but it's not for you anyway. As a person who takes music in and distributes it out, it's not for you. You know what I mean? So and whatever is created, it was created for somebody, even if it's one person. So you have to look at that when you get the music in, and when we get music in, we look at, okay, where can we place this at? You know what I mean? Or what do they need to work on? You know what I mean? So that's the two things that we really focus on, as far as that. Where can we place this music at, and what opportunities that person have, and also, what level is it on? You know what I mean? Because if you're first starting out, your sound might not be that good. So we might be like, hey, look, just work on your sound, work on this. And that's why we have like reviews and stuff that we do, real reviews. And we do video reviews through Blaze Track. So like people send us a project, we go through it, and I just be like, oh yeah, that's trash. We go through it and actually listen. You know what I'm saying? Because there's something like all those 12 songs, if it's classical, if it's rock, if it's hip hop, R&B, things are different. You know what I mean? Things are different because you have country trap, you have gospel rock, you have like all these different sounds. You know what I mean? And that sound might not, like I said, it might not be for your ear. It's for somebody else. So finding out what they're trying to do, where they're trying to go, and also critiquing them in a way to where they can still be motivated to do music, because a lot of times you know, us coming up, you know, we had DJs and people that just look at if the whole package is not right, they would toss it out. But right now you can't really do that because you can toss it out and they can go to TikTok and it can blow up. You know what I'm saying? It can blow up like that. You know what I mean? Or you can toss it out and they can go to a country station and they blow up. And then you're like, oh man, I wish they had. And they're gonna remember that because you always gotta remember when artists put out things or companies put out things, they remember the people who supported them, regardless of whatever level it was. So if you're at the mindset of like, oh, this is trash, and you're constantly throwing it out, that trash is gonna be, like I said, that trash is gonna be somebody's treasure. And then you're gonna wish you had just gave it opportunity and say, you know what, where can I put this at? Instead of saying, oh, this is trash, I can't do it because it's marked up by a marker. You know what I'm saying? Because that one single that's marked up by a marker, that's what I have learned in this game. That one single that's marked up by a marker can be the fieriest song and the hottest song that you ever heard in your life. But they just need the opportunity to give it to you, and you're that vessel. You know what I mean? Especially in 2022, because there's so many different ways you can make money. There's so many different avenues. There's so many different ways. So it's like to take a person's song and to call it trash or to bash it. That's not the wisest thing to do. You know what I'm saying? To encourage them and help them to get to a level where they need to be at. That's what we're here for. You know what I mean? Now, everybody can't make it. Yes, we know that. You know what I'm saying? But they can still make money and revenue, especially these days. It's too many ways to make money off of jingles, off of just a portion of the song. Because they may have like a hot 16 or hot 8 bars, and that 8 bars can blow up just off of TikTok, you know, just off of dance. You know what I'm saying? So you can't like ever be like, oh, that's just trash, because you don't know. It could be, and just look at it. All it takes is like what, 20, 15 seconds on TikTok, and you it's over. You know what I'm saying? 30 seconds is over. It don't even take a full song at all these days. You know what I mean? So that's the concept and the mindset you got to think, because what people don't like in the United States, they might like in Germany. You know what I'm saying? If they don't like it in Germany, they might like it in France. And then you blow up around there, and that's real money anyway. And they'll be like, oh, just like they did Jesus. It's a Sunday, we'll do Jesus. They didn't like Jesus in his hometown. He had to go out, and then they accepted him. Same thing applies to music. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people don't understand that. So if you're in that box thinking, you're gonna think, oh, this is trash. You're not gonna think, oh, let me see what's in there. You know, so that's what we look at over here, and that's our focus on that.
Okay, you definitely said a mouthful with that. You're right. I will say that what we were talking about earlier is a lot of times, though, there are going to be people who are too busy to dig into, oh, let me find out, let me see if they really have talent. They'll go to your Instagram. And if your Instagram doesn't look like it's hitting on nothing, if your numbers aren't right, if your artwork looks crazy, if you don't have a website, you don't have the basic things you need, they'll bypass it. But a good point that you made, you know, yes, you do have to have something, like you might be a diamond in the rough.
Right.
But I think that you still have to have something that makes you stand out. So even if let's say you don't have everything on point yet, you're still working at it, and you still want to put something out and show what you're doing, show your talent until you get to that point where you financially can support yourself. Find a unique way to stand out.
Right.
If you don't have the biggest budget, like I was talking about earlier, build with somebody. Hit up DJ Nothing Nice. Hey, I'm tuned into your show. I rock with you. You know, can I politic with you for a little bit? Build that relationship. Instead of getting like Tevin said, instead of getting hey bro, check out my link. What about, hey, I love what you do, DJ Nothing Nice. Can we talk about how you got started in radio? Like, build with those people. And that's how they like, oh, you know what, I'm definitely an artist, up and coming. I'm still working on some things, but you know, rock with me type thing. Then you can begin to do those type of things. But yes, so the reality is, in my opinion, there will be a lot of people that are overlooked, because not just because they're not perfect and crisp and everything, but because oftentimes they don't have their business handled. So Nothing Nice, I know you can relate to this. You might get submissions or you send out a post and say, hey, send to this email, submit here, include this, your EPK, this and that. And they don't do it. Those things you like.
That's a different story. That's a whole different story. That's a whole different story.
Yeah.
I can relate to that one too.
I
can relate to that one too.
Yeah. That happens. Now that happens all the time. Yeah, that's people don't follow instructions. That one right there. Yeah.
Attention to detail, right?
Yeah, you gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta, if we can give you opportunity, because we gotta, it's a certain the reason why people, and he knows too, like all of us on here know. The reason why people give you a format is because they want to make sure they don't miss you with this stuff. You know what I'm saying? If you're okay, and it shows how well you pay attention and listen, because if you can't listen to instructions, how in the hell are you gonna listen to trying to, get a deal, or what I'm saying, trying to make a meeting, or if
Big
you can't,
facts.
if a person can't listen to your functional instructions, just reading, there's no way you're going to be able to go on tour. There's no way you can make it on tour on time. There's no way you can get the advancement or whatever you're trying to do, and there's no way you're going to listen to anybody. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have you in the meeting with Jay-Z or somebody. You're gonna go crazy. You know what I'm saying? Instead of conducting yourself as, I've been here before. You know what I'm saying? You can't be you can be a fan, but don't be, don't be a fan. You know what I mean? So like, you got to listen to instructions, and that's the key thing. Like, because like you said, there's some people, I'll go ahead and try to dig a little bit. There's some people that like, look, man, we ain't got no time because we're trying to boom. And that's understandable because everybody's different and everybody earned that right to do that. And going to the ones that did and do sling CDs and whatever it is nowadays, or throw something, or how you want to say MP3s or whatever you want to say, how USBs and they toss those or whatever, they earn that right to do that though. You know what I'm saying? And you have to respect that. And also they're trying to see how you act too, even if they do sling in your face. Are you going to be more persistent? Is that going to light that fire in you to be like, oh yeah, I'm about to do it? Because 10 times, and I'm going to stop saying 9 times out of 10, because 10 times out of 10, people do things they do to see how strong you are. Plain and simple. You got different people. You got different teachers. You got different people who raise different ways. Everybody's not going to be like DJ Nothing Nice. Like, yeah, come on. They're going to be people like, oh, nah, this is trash. And them saying this is trash, they want to see how you act and conduct yourself. They want to see how persistent you are. They want to see if you really want this, because that may be, you got to understand too, this is testing. You get tested every day in this industry. You know what I'm saying? You get tested. Longevity is tested. You know what I'm saying? Your heart is tested every day. Your passion is tested, because where we're at right now, we blood, sweat, and tears where we at every single day. So to try to let you get in, and not let you get in, but allow you to be like, hey man, this is what you need to do. EPK, boom, 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 boom. We're trying to help you out to be more professional, to say, oh, they're on point with you. They're on point with this. We don't have no question. Liz, okay, you send me this artist, or send the producer or whoever, we sending you this person or that person, this group, they're gonna be on point. They're gonna be on point, and that's what people love, on point time, because always remember this. This is just life, period. If you can follow instructions from the law, don't go past the speeding light, or you're going to get a ticket. Do the same thing with your career. Do the same exact thing. You know what I'm saying? If you like study, you know what I'm saying? You want to study to get a degree, study your craft. It's easy. You know what I'm saying? If a person tells you to, drop your EPK, I'm going to get you on, you're going to have blah, 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 blah. It's easy. Drop that. Easy. If you can slide your phone left and slide your phone right, if you can repost fights and booty shaking and all that stuff like that, you can repost your stuff every single day. You can repost your own stuff every day. You know what I'm saying? If you can go out and buy Jordans, or go to, Wiz Khalifa's concert, you can take that money and go study and pay somebody to press your EPK up for like whatever. Listen, I don't care if it's $100, $200. It's your EPK for you. It's your flyer for you. If you want to get your hats, and if you want to get hats and stuff, get your own merch, man. You know why everybody's famous and rich like that? Because you choose to take your hard-earned money that you bust your behind for and put it into their project, and put it into their Lexus, and put it into their BMW, and put it into all these cars and all this jewelry that has depreciation just like that as soon as you buy it. You know what I'm saying? Put it into you. Why won't you put it into you? You gonna go brag about the big stakes you had. Why not put it into your stuff? Why not? Why not put it into your stuff? So yeah, that's where I'm at.
So to interject here, this is another important jewel of the game. I hope y'all are taking notes. Don't smoke, drink, and flex your way out of your dream.
Hell no.
Simply put. Because at the end of the day, guess what, guys? That money that you're investing to try to look like you own, you could actually be getting yourself together so you can be on.
And wait for them to come to you. Wait for them to come to you. Yeah. Wait for them to come to you and be like, hey, this is Lexus. We want your following is so big. We want to give you a Lexus every year, and you put in your videos. You're like, hell yeah, I'm getting a free Lexus. Yeah, you guys are paying for it, right? Okay, good. Okay, you got to make sure of that. You got to make sure of that, but you don't want to be on the Price is Right and be like, oh, I got to pay the taxes to get it shipped. No, you want to make sure everything's paid off. You're good to go. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to put in nobody's name. You know what I'm saying, bro? You don't want to do that. That's what you want to do. But just invest in yourself, man. Don't. The lifestyle. And I said this before, Liz, and I don't want to like keep on taking over, but I said this before on a podcast. I said two things. Your phone is the most valuable thing that you have. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, the reason why it costs so much because all the information that it has in there. You can get degrees from your phone. You can pay off your debt in phone. You can do all kinds of things with your phone. But you want to sit here and be like, oh shit, I'm about to cop the new J's, five of these J's. Now, if you sell them, hey, go ahead and do your thing. You know, if you're doing that, hey, do your thing. Listen, do your thing. Have a plan. You know, to get that money back. You know what I'm saying? If you flip and fine, cool. But I'm just saying, like, anything that you invest in, man, make sure it's a value. You know what I'm saying? Like, because all the great ones, and this is the other portion of that, all the great legendary ones, either they passed away or they passed away. The ones that got caught up, that they passed away due to drugs or financial problems, or a lot of baby daddies, baby mamas, they caught up in a lifestyle, and it's understandable. You know what I'm saying? Because hey, that's the best producer. Oh, I gotta get with him. Hey, can I give you? And then but if you get caught up and not handle business, it's gonna be sad, bro. It's gonna be.
Yeah, man, you need them assets, not liabilities.
Yes, sir.
Right.
A lot of them. A lot of them. And especially, you know, you going on the road and you popping out babies, you know, vice versa, guys, girls, whoever, you know, yeah, man, that costs when you up here, it's lovely. It's lovely when you're up here. But when everybody gotta come down, everybody gotta at least reality. So, and guess what? And guess what happens? That's when DJ Nothing Nice hears, yeah, such and such is selling their royalties. Is doing this. And guess what? The majors are selling them royalties nowadays. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them, due to the pandemic and all that stuff that happened. But the plan, man, like, don't think. You better be smart and be like, yo, I'm gonna get this and don't spend nothing, or you better do something. Just have a plan, man. Have a plan. Have a plan, because it's not gonna last. It's being on top. Now, being on top is different from longevity, living forever. You know what I'm saying? Like your Anita Bakers and all those people that been in the game. Your Jay-Z's, you got those Jay-Z's that smart. You know what I'm saying? You got the masterpiece of smart where they do everything. But on the other side too, you don't know, they still like, I'm gonna say it like this. MC Light just got her name back recently. Like MC Light, yo. So MC Light just recently got her. Anita Baker just got her royalties back, like just now. You know how old she is? You know how these people are? You know what I'm saying? So like the game is, listen, man, 99 years after you die, label gets the royalties still. Come on, man. So, hey, what you trying to do? What you playing? You know what I'm saying? You wanna, hey man, go listen now. Young, understandable. If you already rich, you already got it. Go ahead, man. Do that. But if you ain't got it, you getting out the mud or however you doing, and you want everything to be owned by signing away or jugging it away, man. Hey man, do your thing, you know. There's plenty of people up here, and nothing against Walmart. I worked at Walmart, worked at McDonald's, working at all these different places, you know, ex-military. Listen, I have nothing against it, but if that's not your plan when you blow up to go back to Walmart or whatever, then my suggestion would be have people around you that have your best interests at heart, even though you don't have it at heart. You'd be like, nah, you don't need to invest in that, bro. Hey, put it over here. And you'd be like, you might be mad, but in the long term, you're gonna be happy.
That's definitely a jewel of the game right there. Have people around that have your best interest.
Happy.
So, I want to jump, guys, because I know we're running close to the time now, but I want to jump into the next thing. Let's talk about how essential it is for each of us, how essential it is for artists, labels, and even those that are just branding in general to have each of us in our roles. So how important is it to have a publicist? How important is it to have a DJ that you're connected with? Or how important is the DJ, whether it's the club or the radio, etc.? How important is it to have a manager, consultant? How important is it to have our content creators and our bloggers? So anybody that wants to jump in there, I'll let you guys get started on how important your role is to being successful.
I can go first. I just feel like as artist wise, as far as like management, like if you're not at a level where you need a manager and you can kind of pretty much handle the smaller stuff before you get to that level by yourself, that kind of would be my thing. Like I don't feel like until you find basically you get a record that you can push that everybody's like, hey man, what's going on with this record? What you doing with this record? Well, you got a lot of DJs per se doing it. That's when I would kind of look for a DJ if I done kind of used all my resources I had and I don't have anywhere else to go with the song. Then I would try to find a manager. But it's a lot of people that just started rapping like yesterday and they be like, hey, I need a manager. With no budget. It's like you ain't got no budget, but you need a manager. Like a manager, like people get management kind of confused to the point where it's like, I'm paying for your career. Like, no, I'm using my resources to help enhance your career. I'm not funding your career.
Right.
So if I'm funding your career, then I'm basically gonna be getting half of the money when it comes back. So like when I work with any artist, my number one thing with them, like I said, is ownership and for them to be their own boss. Like if you can become your own boss, everybody up under you, they can boss up as well. Now you got everybody around you bosses. So and it might not be music. They might be a boss in food or in something else. Now you can invest into whatever they got going on. So it's like that circle of money around in the family. So because like pretty much with EBF, everybody it's like 30 of us. Everybody doesn't do music, you know. So like everybody some people do graphic art, some people do necklaces, like they make jewelry, some people do dolls. So I mean, but it all ties into under the same umbrella. So
that's smart.
So we always, like I said, once we get to the point where we can actually start hiring people outside of the family to provide those jobs, that's like our main thing, you know.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
So, but to answer your question though, until you're ready to have a manager, I wouldn't, because like I said, you still have to pay a manager a percentage. You still have to have the funding for the manager. Because if you don't have the money, but you got the manager, what we about to do?
Right. That's true.
Absolutely. All right. Who wants to go next?
Oh, go ahead. Where's next? I'll go last. Whatever, because I've been talking too much already.
But yeah, again, building off of what Trey said, once you get those things in place, like some kind of momentum, that's when you go to the press. Because honestly, like your first song out, I mean, nobody's going to really care about it until you have a song that people care about. And then maybe we'll go back and, do a story on like your journey. But to go in here and to be like, I'm going to be the biggest rapper in the world 10 years from now. I mean, it's great. You know what I'm saying? Like, we believe you. But, as of right now, like you got like 5 plays, And so we don't know if this is a hobby or something that you're really going to do. And so to go in here, like, we can't put a story out that says MC I Want to Rap is going to be huge 10 years from now. I mean, and that's just the way that it is. But, once you get some kind of momentum, like my guy said, with the DJs and things like that, then you get to the management, then you approach the press so we have something to write about. Because if not, we're all just wasting our time and resources for you to give up in a week because you didn't do a million on whatever platform,
That's true.
That's my 2 cents.
That's facts. Okay. I'm gonna just bounce off of both of what they said. I concur. I concur. Because I don't to talk too long. So I would say I'll say I concur, but I just will say, just like they said, get just do the legwork, man. I know the social media. I know we're in a situation right now with all this stuff. I know weather right now, but man, get out there, man. Like really get out there. Like don't just go to. I'll say this, man. Do the things that you think morally. They say morally first because people are like, oh, I think that's fun. Do things morally that you feel other people wouldn't do. You know what I'm saying? Like to be able to have people say, you know what, I want to manage you. You know what I'm saying? Like get like they said, build your brand, man. And that long time ago, I was one day, I was like, yo, I used to go to try to like talk to people like, yo, what? They're like, yo, build your brand. I'm like, oh, okay. Because if you focus on building your brand, and building your relationships. Don't disrespect nobody. Yeah, I say don't do that. Don't Kanye West it. Don't do that. Just come in, you know what I'm saying? Be humble. And if you get no's, still go. Because there's people that still, like they both said, listen, we don't know if they don't know if it's a hobby. You know how many artists, and I know for a fact for me, but I know for them too, and you too, Liz. Listen, you know how many artists come and say we're the hottest this every moment? If they can both count, listen, if they can both count their hands, and it's way more than that, and feet and whatever else, extremities, there's millions of people that come to them, every day. Oh, I'm the hottest this, I'm the hottest that. And guess what? They gotta put you, everybody gotta go to the fire, everybody go to the, okay, we'll see. What's your budget? Now, if they're gonna ask, I can tell both of them, hey, listen, what's your budget? That's the first thing, like, what's your budget? If you come with that, well, you might want to rethink the manager. You know what I'm saying? You might want to rethink a lot of everything. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You might want to rethink that because it's going to be a long, long road for you. And if you think you can try to play people in this industry, it's not going to work. It's all in a phone call.
Come back. It's going to come back to you.
It's a phone call. And listen, whoever's listening to this, it's a phone call. Always remember that DJ, because listen, man, regardless if DJs have beef, artists have beef, or whatever you want to call it, they still talk to each other. They still talk to each other. Like, people still talk. Like, people would know about a song that you drop or get ready to drop before you even drop it, just because of a conversation that people have. Believe that. Believe that. So managers too.
That's true.
Oh no, don't work with them. Don't work with them. The managers, PRs, they all talk. Bloggers, news, all talk. All of them. All of them, man. This industry's not that big. What you think it is you could just go from here. I can go from Florida and go to Georgia and be like, oh yeah, I just shit it all these. Nigga, no. By the time you get there, you're gonna already be blocked. You're gonna be blocked. Yeah. Your career's gonna be over. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be over. And if it's people that really, if you really came into this joint thinking that you're gonna disrespect people, listen, yo, they will have it to where you won't be working anywhere. And I mean, like, anywhere, because people have family members, man. No, don't hire him at Walmart. Don't hire him at 7-Eleven. Listen, don't hire her. They're gonna listen. You're gonna be sending looking crazy, yo. You know what I'm saying? So before you even get a manager and then all these people hiring these people, have your budget, have your stuff together. You know what I'm saying? On that level, and be honest. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself. Look, you know, I ain't got the budget right now. Hey, bro, what do I need to do? You know, how do I need to go? Hey, do this, and this. All right, boom. All right, what I need to do? Where I need to go? Do this, and this. Keep on working. Keep on working. Help out. I know people don't carry crates and stuff and records no more. Hey, bro, you need me to come in. And it may seem, because you're humbling yourself. Two, they're seeing how bad you want it, because it's not always what you do in the studio, or it's what you do outside. It's outside. You do some stuff in your community. Hey, man, let me go help. Genuinely do stuff in the community. Yep. Genuinely do it. You know what I mean? Genuinely do whatever you do, because if you wake up and be like, you know what? I'm about to scam everybody I know. I'm about to scam everybody. DJ Nothing Nice, no blah blah blah. Guess what? You're not gonna be here long. You're not gonna be here. You know.
So one thing you said that was also key. This is another jewel. Y'all take notes. Okay. Your budget is for your best interest.
Yes.
Okay. So don't be afraid of the word budget. When someone asks you in our particular lanes, when someone asks you, what's your budget? It's never so that we can figure out how much money we can put in our pockets. It's so that we can know how far we can help you to go. Simply put, if we ask you, okay, what's your budget? What are you working with? And you're like, what's it going to cost me? I don't know. What you want to do? How far you want to go? Who you want to reach? What do you already have in place? I need to know these things. You know, we all need to know these things so that we can put you in the best position to win. Budget is another word I can put in place of that. It's synonymous with it would be, how much room do you have? If I can put it like that. We want to know, where are you at? Do you have $10,000 to work with to get started? It takes thousands, like, just to begin. That's just the tip of the iceberg. And that's not going, believe it or not, it doesn't go into our pockets. That gets spread around to move. We have to be able to move on your behalf as a publicist, as DJ, especially a record-breaking DJ. You know, as a manager, we have to be able to maneuver. And contrary to popular belief, managers aren't required to do anything or pay for things for you. you know, unless you have a label deal that encompasses that, where the label is included that in the contract. That's different. You know, the label is covering those things, but no, your manager is there to manage what you already have in place.
Yep.
And so you can't go to them and say, hey, such and such management, I'm gonna make you a millionaire. How?
I'm cautious of those kinds of people
Now,
anyway.
Lizzo, if they got that line of credit with the man, we were like, okay, come on, man, you got to get you under there.
Right.
And that's important too. That's really important too. Artists, listen, anybody, like, and that's why I'm working on too. I'm gonna work some things out. But listen, yo, get that credit. Work on your credit. Work on that credit, because you can be like, look, okay, this is my line of credit. This is what I can do. And they be like, oh, okay. And be like, look, that's your producer. Hey, bro, listen, I seen this new computer. It's like 20 stacks. I can give you that. Can that cover the, you know what I'm saying? He might be like, I don't know. You can do 10 and then give me another 10 and then we can do it like that. You know what I'm saying? Because it takes, they say it takes money to make money. It takes money to make money. The Billboard Grammys, a fourth of advertising in a magazine is $3,000 by itself. That's just a fourth. That's not the half page 5, the full page is 10. That's for a magazine for the billboards. And it's Billboard, you know what I'm saying? So come on, man. Come on. The 50 Cent, let's talk about the 50 Cent beat in the club that he bought from Dr. Dre was $1 million for one beat. So there you go.
You said it right there.
Come on.
So guys, we're gonna kind of fast forward a little bit so we can cover the last couple things. But I'm sorry. To tell you guys in a nutshell how important it is to have a publicist. Your publicist, a lot of people call it PR. We are essentially the gateway to you being visible, whether that's in the streets or it's online or it's in conversations on the back end. You're visible, you're talked about. We help to highlight the good things that you're doing and dim the light on some of the things that you may have made mistakes on in the past. We help you to figure out where you need to be, who you need to talk to, who you don't need to talk to. Good affiliations, good relationships to build. We have those conversations that let people know who you are, what you're doing, even before people care, to be honest. So we give them a reason to care about you. We help you to polish things. We help you to clean up your image. We help you to fix your social media pages. We help you to get your website easily accessible and attractive. We also set up those interviews. We get you placements. We walk you into certain doors that you wouldn't otherwise be able to get into. Your publicist is there to make sure that when you have an event, exactly what was said and done in that contract is in place. And your manager works hand in hand with that. But we're here to make sure that you look good. But furthermore, we want people to be able to see you. You can have the best music, the best work, the best brand in the world, but if nobody sees you, you wasted your time and your money and your entire team's time and money. Yeah. So it's so important to have someone in this position. But I'll tell you guys one example really quick. I've had people come to me, they say, hey, I've been doing all this. I worked with this person, I did this, I did this, I did that. And they're like, I need a publicist. I'm like, okay, what am I putting out? Like, what am I like marketing and pushing? They're like, well, me, what I've done. I was like, I don't see it. I need you to show me, like, give me the Carfax on everything that you've done, essentially. And they'll say, well, no, just put me out there, give me paid shows, give me this, that, and the third. I'm like, first of all, it's a booking agent. Okay. That's a whole different fee. Second of all, when it comes down to it, you have to have something to be presented. I can't go to a blog and be like, hey, get young Hoodie on this platform right here. I need you to put him on there. They'll be like, what's he doing? He put out an album. Okay. Why should we care about that album? Is he connected? Is he the cousin of Dr. Dre? Did Jay-Z like give him $5 one day or something, or give him some advice? Like, what's significant? So you have to have stuff that sticks out about you, something that people will care about. So just like in media, people say, I need news articles, I need coverage, I need this, I need to be all over the front page. Why? Why would you be on the front page? What have you done? It's a very much so a what have you done for us lately world.
Yep.
So that applies to music too. Figure out what your niche is. What's your story? As a publicist, as a manager, we have to have a story to push. In a blogger, content creator, we have to have a story to push, an angle, because that's how we get our people to read, our followers, our viewers to read and listen and watch. It has to be something that's intriguing. Otherwise, our platform is no good if people aren't watching it and listening. So be content and attention worthy in order for people to want to put you on. So getting back full circle here, when you come to somebody and say, I need a publicist, I need a manager, okay, have your stuff together and be humble enough and smart enough for your own good to say, you know what? Okay, I'm not all the way where I need to be yet. I don't have everything that would help you to push me out there. What can I do? Then you pay for consultation. You pay for development.
Yep.
And that's what a lot of times we end up doing, is working on the development piece so that you can be ready.
Yep.
I personally won't take anybody's money if they're not developed, if they're not ready, because it makes me look bad. That's the most important part. Each of us in our roles, it makes us look bad if we're pushing a product that's going nowhere fast, or pushing a product that doesn't make sense.
Yep.
So yeah, so that's my piece on it, is why PR is so important. Let's see, let me see here. By the way, guys, while I'm pulling up a couple of things I wanted to share with you, we're gonna have shows every Sunday. So you guys can definitely stay tuned to find out how you can be on the show as a guest. We're gonna have some unique people that are gonna be on here, some tastemakers. We're gonna have other folks that are in the industry, some that are artists that are just getting started, some that have been well established. And we want them to share their stories, share some jewels of the game. But again, this show is not just for artists. It's for people who have found their way to success in their own way. And they're going to tell us how they got there and some of the things that they learned along the way. Also, we want to hear about the mistakes that were made. I do want to close out with that question. With that being said, before everybody gives their platform information at the end here, if you wouldn't mind, guys, share one mistake that you made that actually ended up maybe benefiting you in the long run, or just something that was key to you getting where you're at today. Anybody can go.
Okay.
Nobody wants to go.
No one wants to talk about the faults. Okay, I get it. They'll be like, man, everything was good. Everything's always good. No,
So I'll start off. One of the mistakes I made was being too trusting in the beginning. I was like excited about everybody and everything. I was like, oh yeah, oh, nice to meet you. Yeah, da, 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 da. Oh yeah, definitely, let's work, let's go. And then I'm not doing my research, and I don't know that they're really trying to use me to get work done on their behalf. So just being too comfortable, too trusting in situations, not knowing how to vet people and find out what their angle is and what they want. That helped me to know how to discern better today and be a better judge of character, as well as take my time to see exactly what a person wants and be straightforward. It taught me to be very straightforward and say, hey, I know who I am and what I have to offer. I know what you are and what you have to offer. What is it that you're wanting from me? What do you expect from me? How are we mutually going to be beneficial to each other? Having those conversations. So next.
I would say.
Yeah, so the biggest mistake that I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. You got it.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so the biggest mistake that I made early on was not realizing how valuable and, even powerful my brand was. And so with that, I was putting a lot of energy into other things, thinking that was going to be the thing. And whenever it was at a standstill, all I had was myself and what I was pushing. And so what that taught me is to honestly, do what makes sense. I mean, sometimes the best answer is the simplest one. And doing what makes sense is what has led to the successes that, my entire company has had since I came to that realization.
Okay, thank you. All right, nothing nice.
Okay, well, I'll go ahead and go then. Yeah, so It's a combination of just both of what you guys both said. But my main thing was, like you said, I say the main thing for me was letting people know, hey man, just hit me up anytime. You know what I'm saying? One of those. When I first came in, I was like, yo, listen, because I never understood why some of my, before mentors and stuff mentors and people that's been in the game a long time was like, look, set a certain time for your company and self too, because you got to balance it. I didn't know. I was like, man, call me anytime. When people start calling me certain times, like, yo, what's up? I'm like, and giving people the main number too. Oh, that was the biggest mistake. That was a big mistake. That was a big, huge mistake. Listen, no, have your Google number, have your business number. There's a reason why you can't call AT&T. Well, not I won't say AT&T because there's a reason why you can't call certain companies at a certain time. You know what I mean? Or they give you email and things like that. It's because of not just because of just the amount of people that you have to reach or talk to, but so you can make sure you have your own time. Because you got to have time for you. You got to have you time. You got to have your time for your creativity to be able to do the things you need to do to operate and move around, and to be able to see what's going on with yourself. Like you said, with yourself, with your company, because once the quarters stop happening, first, second, third, fourth, fifth quarter, start, Grammys are there, you got the Billboard awards, you got this, you got that, when all the things settle down, and there's times where there's just, I call them stagnant moments where you're supposed to be fine-tuning your craft, you know what I mean? In between the first and second quarter, third, fourth, fifth quarter, and all those quarters like that. So the biggest mistake for me, like I said, was giving that phone number out. A personal phone number, yo. Give a personal phone number and having to realize, look, yo, you can't answer every call, man. It's not possible. It's not even possible to try to, because you won't have any time for you. And people, and once the more accessible you are to people as far as like that, that's just like having a whole bunch of superstars in your city. You see them all the time, so why you want to go to the concert? You know what I'm saying? So it's just like people always acceptable to you. They're like, dang, they ain't got no life. They just sit here and just do this. Okay, cool. I can. No. That phone thing, that was a big one for me. So now it's more so in the business aspect of, hey, call this number, and then that way you can weed out the ones that's not supposed to be there. You know what I'm saying? You can weed out those. Hey, how you doing? Hey, what's going on? Yeah, what's going on? How you doing? Great. Everything is great. Yeah, man. I just need some money. We all do. You know what I'm saying? You gotta, you know what I'm saying? or the automatic response. So that was my biggest thing for me, was just that phone number thing, just being accessible as far as like giving out that personal number. Have your business number, please. My suggestion, have your business number.
All right, Trey, what's your lesson
Mine
learned?
was not knowing at the beginning, not knowing my worth. Like letting people kind of not, like me going to really run out and get plugs and connections on my own, just by me standing beside who I'm with. People didn't really kind of take me serious at first, and so it kind of made me feel some type of way. It's like I didn't really understand it, and then like I want to say probably maybe like a year after that, I kind of stopped doing the things I was doing, and I kind of understood, okay, if I don't do this, then it's not gonna get done. So it kind of made me understand my worth, just not knowing my worth. You know what I'm saying? Not feeling like people took me seriously at certain times. So I kind of felt like that was like one of my big, just not believing in what I was doing.
Okay.
It's like my biggest one. Like I said, I agree with all the other ones y'all were saying too.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, y'all hitting the points already, so I don't want to be redundant either, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I was like, man, look, everybody's story that told a story. I was like, man, I done been there. I done been that one. Like the phone, because Liz be fussing me out about the phone thing. Because I got two phones, but it still be hard.
Phone. Even family too, because family be like, yeah,
yeah.
You're doing good. I was trying to see if you got a couple of dollars. I'm like, yo, bro, I'm promoting, and you think because I'm promoting and these companies and things like that, which we all know, like, you can get paid for your promotion and stuff like that. Hey, we're trying to do what we got to do too. You know what I'm saying? Because that's family. And I understand, families are good. Yo, you a basketball star now. You should be able to listen, Everybody goes through situations, you know what I'm saying? And the people that, and I just learned this, and I don't want to take up too much time, but I learned, like, everybody that's in this industry, they have a gift, and that gift is dealing with people, and that gift is sharing that gift with the world. So us sharing our gift to the world and the people, yeah, the money, yes, of course, you know what I'm saying? But we're sharing our gifts with the world to make an impact, because we felt like whoever we dealt with or, seeing that either inspired us or made us determined to do, what I'm saying, be greater because of the hate. And we're like, well, yeah, I'm standing next. Oh yeah, so I'm standing next to. Okay, yes, and yo, T.I. Okay, cool. Listen, listen, and instead of saying, yeah, T.I. he's the king. Yeah, we are kings. You know what I'm saying? That mindset, because that's the mindset you in now. You like, it's like, yo, I deal with these people every day. Listen, I'm a celebrity producer. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You have to, it don't click when you're doing, like when you're going through your stuff and you magazines and anything anybody you deal with, you're like, hold up, I work with all these people. Let me put my, you know what I'm saying? You have to, like you said, y'all work. And that's the thing too with us too, because it's like working and dealing with people, majors, independent. Listen, yo, from the producer side, I know for a fact, people are like, yo, I dealt with it. Like, listen, I just had Rick Ross in the studio. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? For producers, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Bloggers, because some people be like, when they name drop, it's crazy because you're like, yeah, I work with this radio station. I'm like, that's understandable.
Yeah, especially when you're not trying to name drop.
No, bro. No, you're not. No, you're not. But then when people see, they're like, oh, we seen that you work with this. And then they do it back on, they're like, yeah. But you're like, that's not, you doing that research is not bringing me any money though.
No, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? The TI record or whatever, that was like 5 or 6 years ago. I mean, get a little bit of royalty, but we need to have something right now. So things went up, you know what I'm saying? Like food went up. Talking about there's no salad at Walmart no more. There's all kinds of things that's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like we're trying to make sure the deep freezer stacked for the family. It's just a whole bunch of things that people don't take serious. Is when you're next to somebody who they feel like is up here and they feel that you're down here. They feel, even though listen, even though you may have got grant, you may have awards, but they feel like, oh, and then when they finally feel like, they're like, oh, okay, and then you have to charge them the real price. You know what I'm saying?
That's when they feel the real. You be like, hey, brother, let me bring out my real resume that you didn't believe.
Yeah, that's but it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't. Artists, whoever you work with, that's what I'm saying, anybody that watches, it should not be that way. You should go into, if you want to deal with somebody in this industry, no matter what level you feel at, listen, you got to give them the same, listen, yo, and I tell people all the time, how you pay your bills, that's how you should pay people in the industry ahead of time.
Absolutely.
Point blank.
Absolutely. And on that note, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up because that was like one of the best jewels of the game. I promise you right there, you definitely have to pay, you know what I'm saying? Pay how you weigh. Like, come on. Yeah. Like when your bill collector is hitting you up like, hey, your lights gonna get cut off on Friday. Hey, guess what?
You making that money. Get that money.
Yeah, like you gotta
I need $100, yo.
Treat it the same.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're gonna get into all that too. We're gonna tap into worth, like knowing your worth, and also paying for what you want. We're gonna tap into that in the next episode, but that's not the only thing. We're gonna get into some other unique jewels to have some special guests. Thank you everybody, all my hosts today. I appreciate you guys for taking time out to share your expertise, your experiences. And so real quick, we got Trey Day Beats, EBF CEO, as well as Controlling Minds Management. We have myself, Elfie Brand Photography, all that good stuff. We got DJ Nothing Nice Radio. We got Mr. Tevin Savage. We got hiphopvibe.com. So we are here to show y'all love, to show y'all support, to put you on game so that you don't get messed over, you don't get scammed, and you get something that's really beneficial, And I'm gonna put this out there because this is a whole nother show we're gonna get into. Stop paying for 1 million open mics to perform for other artists. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. I love y'all though.
Tell them again.
Register louder for the ones in the back.
Register it as a performance royalty too, so you can get paid off the showcase.
Thank you.
Yes. Because you can't be the hottest in the city if you're performing for a group of 20 other artists. Like, make it make sense. They're not buying your records, so how are you the hottest in the city?
But it's like leaving money. When you don't register though, it's like leaving money on the table.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, guys, I'm not gonna preach no more. I'm about to hit this fashion show. Definitely shout out to Miss Kathy Jensen. We're heading out to the Crown Complex today to cover the And Affair to Remember Formal Wear. It's the annual fashion show. It's gonna be amazing. So y'all come through. It starts at 2 o'clock for the younger show, and then the evening show, I believe, starts at 7 p.m. So come out, support. They had to reschedule from yesterday because of the weather. So that's going on today, guys. Anybody have any quick plug shout outs? You got like 30 seconds real quick each if you want to plug something going
Shout out
on.
to y'all. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Eva's List. Shout out to everybody on here. You know what I'm saying? Looking forward to this. It's great. Just please, y'all pay attention. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. That's it. That's all. That's all I got.
Yeah. Nice meeting all of you. I've enjoyed it today. Follow us on Instagram at Hip Hop Vibe TV. They forced us to restart, but it is what it is.
I don't know, man. Like, I enjoy the show, and I just want to keep, like I said, next week. I'm ready for next week. That's pretty much all I got. Shout out to EBF, shout out to Moray, shout out to the whole fan. Pretty much where I'm at with it.
All right, guys. So till next week, y'all stay locked. Y'all can check us out on our individual platforms, and we're definitely gonna let you guys know where you can submit your information and reach out about getting on the show. Okay. Y'all have a blessed one, and definitely stay positive, stay safe. We love y'all.
Shout out, go Giants, baby, even though we love them. Okay. Y'all be safe.